Did you say Wahhabism?
Yes, sorry, I probably said it wrong.
Yeah. Well, look, the Muslims are not monolithic, and so you have the vast majority of Muslims historically have been called Sunnis, with about 15% called Shia. Within those groups, there's also some differences, but overall, both of those groups, the Sunnis and Shias, accepted each other as Muslims. They differed on certain things, but they did not excommunicate or anathematize the other. There is a strain of Islam that emerged about 200 years ago that was a reformist movement. It's very much in line with the kind of puritanical Christian movements that emerged in England as well. And you know, so in essence, they're kind of like, the best of them are like grumpy Amish. You know, they just kind of want to be left alone
with weapons.
And the worst of them are like the worst of the Ku Klux Klan, and it's kind of between that. So unfortunately, it's a reality that we have to deal with as a community. Now, one of the problems is that the petrodollars has enabled massive amounts of literature that I would consider pretty extreme to flood the Arab world. And so a lot of modern Arab youth have really been indoctrinated into a type of Islam that historically was very alien to Islam. And the bitter fruit of that is now emerging in places like Syria, Libya, Iraq, and Yemen. But historically, the Muslims, I mean, they have a lot of blights on their history, undeniably. But overall, I think Greg mentioned earlier, you know, for a pre-modern civilization, it was one of the most enlightened. It was certainly highly tolerant of other cultures and civilizations. It was very eclectic. It took from other cultures and civilizations, and also it protected Christian churches. There's a reason why those churches are being destroyed now in Iraq. Why weren't they destroyed before? Why were they standing for over 1,000 years? The Christians were there long before the Muslims, and the Muslims honored them. And you can look at the Syriac writings. A Muslim has the key to the Church of the Sepulchre. To this day, he opens it every morning at dawn to resolve one of the conflicts that the Christians had when the Muslims first got there. So, and I was just we were in Marrakesh for a conference protecting religious minorities in the Muslim lands. And there was a Yazidi man from Iraq. His name is Baba Shaykh. You can Google him. He's one of the Yazidi leaders. He was there. He came up to me after his talk. I was talking to him, and he said, listen, nobody amongst the Yazidis believes this is Islam. We know what Islam is. He said, I know Islam better than most Muslims. He said, we've lived with Muslims for centuries, and that's why we're still here. These are criminals. And the truth is, many of these, you know, these Sabians and Yazidis and Druze and these other religious groups, they know that this is not Islam. But unfortunately, it only takes one generation to break that link. Oh, yeah. And so people are going to forget. And that's my fear, you know, is that people will start associating these things with Islamic behavior.